Hi, this is Chanda Rubin, and you're listening to Brothers on Tennis.
Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? This is your boy Isaac.
And this is your boy Bryce.
And we are Brothers on Tennis. And folks, we have rounded the corner on the 2021 French Open. And boy, oh boy, was there a lot to talk about with that particular Grand Slam. Bryce, I know you and I have talked. It's just been outstanding and crazy all at the same time, bro. What are you feeling about the French Open that we just encountered and or experienced?
You know, it's interesting because Isaac, you know, I'm on social media a lot, and
Yes.
so I see a lot of the comments and it's weird. There's been this contradiction that I've seen out there.
Right.
You have the segment of the tennis population that's saying, oh, we want to see, you know, a changing of the guard. We want to see, you know, you get the same old people, you know, kind of winning and all of that.
Right.
And I don't know why there has been so much hate out there on social media about the way the women's draw played out.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, I was thinking, look, here is a young, fresh new face that came out and clowned in not only singles, but doubles and everything. And it seemed like there was a distaste for that.
Really?
And yeah, she was not getting all the love that I thought she would get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people tended to speak more about, well, Barty wasn't there and Sabalenka wasn't there and Serena wasn't there and we didn't know the people that were in the semifinals and all that. But to me, that's what kind of made it interesting, right?
Right. And that goes to show the difference between like you and I, the true tennis fans, and those of the casual fan, because the casual fan's only going to know about a Serena and a Barty and a Coco Gauff. They aren't going to be able to fully appreciate everything that a Pavlyuchenkova and a Krejcikova have gone through in order to be able to do what they did in this particular tournament.
Right. So that's been a little perplexing to me, but nonetheless, we move on. So
Exactly. Nonetheless, we move on.
Right. So we're gonna do this backwards, right? Let's start with maybe some of the smaller events and talk about them, and we'll work our way up to the big stuff.
Okay, I like that. Sounds good.
All right, so we're going to actually start with the first one that I want to talk about is the men's quad wheelchair championship.
All right, yeah.
And our guy, Dylan Alcott, won his third consecutive French Open.
Wow.
Which was also his 13th major that he has won.
That is incredible, right?
So he coming for Pete too.
Everybody coming for Pete.
Everybody coming for Pete, right? They're like, ain't nobody scared of that 14.
Ain't nobody scared of it, right?
I'm catching it in his wheelchair. you know what I'm saying? So props to him. He's from Australia. You know, we've been watching him do this for a number of years.
Yes, we have.
Congratulations to him. Like I said, third French Open in a row and, you know, 13th Grand Slam overall. And maybe in the next one, he is tying Pete Sampras. What do you think about Dylan?
Man, it's funny how we had heard a lot about Dylan, you know, before. I shouldn't say before, but we knew about him. But then when you, myself, and the fellas went down to Australia in 2017 and enjoyed the Australian Open, that's where we really began to see just how wildly popular he is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that dude was all over television. He was doing interviews. I mean, it was incredible to see the level of impact that he had in Australia when we went during, again, that Australian Open. And the fact that he continues to deliver, continues to get results, continues to, again, stack up those Grand Slam championships, it's so commendable. I mean, he's dominating, man. He is doing some serious dominating right now. And like you said, he's scratching on Pete as well, which always makes me smile.
Right.
But dude, I'm just very, very happy for him. I mean, that's just incredible results. Incredible.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
once again, congratulations to him.
Yes.
So now let's move over to the juniors. And we specifically want to talk about the boys this year, because there was some really good stuff in terms of people of color there. In the boys semifinals, we had Arthur Feast, who was the number 14 seed. So to make it to the semifinals was a really good thing for him. And by the way, let's not forget that he got a wild card into the qualies of the main draw and took out Tomic in the first round of qualies.
Right.
And this kid was 16. And you don't, and just once again, for people to understand, a lot of times you see on the women's side, you'll see that, 16-year-olds, competing on the main tour. It's much more rare to see that on the men's side, because a lot of times, a 16-year-old just doesn't have the physical stature to be able to compete on the men's tour. I mean, the last time we really saw somebody 16, I think, come and really do it was probably Rafa, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
Him, and before him, probably Leighton Hewitt. But yeah, this cat, Arthur Feast, brother from France, 14 seed, made it to the the semifinals, where he met Pericourt.
Yeah, another
brother from France, who was the number 5 seed. Feast took him out, made it to the finals, ended up losing in the finals. But the other unique thing here is that meeting Pericourt in the semifinals, the other brother, that was his doubles partner.
That is so crazy.
And they went on to capture the boys' doubles title.
Yep.
So, Isaac, is this the new generation of Monfils and Tsonga?
And Tsonga? The Monfils Tsonga that we didn't get? I am hoping so, bro, because I think that these two young men, are really trying to show out and do some things, especially on the boys' side, on the junior side, and hopefully that's going to allow that to translate into a good introduction into the professional ranks, and they can really, really do something. You and I have talked all the time about a Tsonga Monfils pairing, and we never really got that. So I'm certainly hoping that this will be kind of that new age duo, if you will. But both of them showed themselves very well, because, I mean, Fields, like I said, he took it, 7-6 in the third. So it wasn't like it was a walkover in the singles semi against his doubles partner. So, I mean, just incredible tennis. Glad he made it. He unfortunately did lose to yet another countryman. I think weren't all 4 of the boys semifinalists from France? I mean, it was just...
I'm not sure about that piece, but maybe they were.
I think, because I know the guy, the Van Ash, or that he played in the final that he lost to, was from France.
Okay.
And so I thought I had heard that the guy he beat was also, but I could be wrong. Anyway, I just think it's a great story, and kudos to the brothers. I'm just really happy to see them doing their thing, and at least they walked out of there with some hardware. They took the doubles championship.
So you are right. So I'm looking at the draw now. Van Ash was from France.
Okay.
And then I'm looking at the other guy, Cunin. What was he?
Is he French?
He's French too. So all four of them were from France.
Yeah, so they was clowning. France was clowning in the boys draw. Right.
And something else. We had mentioned this during our daily recap show. Bjorn Borg's son had made it to the round of 16. And he eventually lost, 7-6 in the third to the top seed. But, like you were saying, we may have them genes, that lineage. We may have another Borg coming in on the scene.
That's right. That would be awesome, honestly.
and for Arthur, is his name pronounced Fields or Feast?
Well, I guess I just look at Monfils and how his name is, because it's Monfils.
Yes.
So I think it might be Feast. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it might be Arthur Feast.
Well, I wanted to remind people too that, where he really jumped on people's radar was at the end of 2020 when, as an unseeded player, he ended up winning the boys 18s at the Orange Bowl. And for those people that are not familiar with the Orange Bowl is, that's like the equivalent of the NCAA championships for the juniors.
Right.
So
right.
It's a big deal when you win the Orange Bowl, and he won it as an unseeded player. So he might be really coming into something right now. So once again, this French Open produced some people that, maybe we weren't looking at before.
Right.
That we need to be looking at going forward.
That's right. That's right. And yeah, it just makes me happy. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully we can get that pairing though, Bryce, because I want that pairing.
Yes. I don't know. I'm trying to think of, have I ever in all of the years that I have watched, no, I shouldn't say that because you got Monroe and Tiafoe playing together. I was just trying to think that I ever seen any two brothers play doubles.
Brothers playing, yeah. It's rare. It's a rarity.
Okay.
Hopefully that won't be the case going forward, though. Fingers crossed.
Right. So let's move to the next event.
Yeah.
Which was the one event Krejcikova didn't win, although she and Polasek were the top seeds.
Right?
Yeah, they lost in the quarterfinals.
That's hilarious.
But we had in the finals of the mixed doubles, we had Krajicek, who is the American who was playing with Joe Salisbury, the Brit. They played surprise finalists, Vesnina and our boy Karatsev in the finals.
Laser.
And although, the Russians fell short, and props to the American and to Joe, as a matter of fact, I think it had been a long time since, I don't know if anybody from Britain ever held a French title. But just, props to Karatsev continuing to surprise people.
Right. Yes.
On what he can do.
I know, right? I mean, and you even had kind of broke this story because we were thinking that since Vesnina was the doubles person, that she probably had reached out to him when in fact he was the one that actually reached out to her to play mixed doubles.
Yep.
And I think that is so commendable because for me, he's looking at it like, you know what? I don't play doubles. Or at least I hadn't seen him play any doubles. So the fact that he was willing to, reach out to her and actually, get into the mixed doubles draw, I find that commendable, given the fact, again, he's been having a lot of success on the singles court. And I do find that this is a great way for him to continue to build out his game because we really haven't seen a lot from Karatsev at the net. And not that we did in mixed doubles either, but
right.
But, it still gives him not only the, more play time, but it also gives him, the ability to play with someone from his country and learn a little bit more about, again, doubles going into the Olympics. So very, very happy that they were partnered. They partnered up and made it to the final. I mean, I think that's extraordinary.
It's great. And, what we didn't know was that I guess they were good friends in the juniors.
Right.
And so there was already a relationship there. She was trying to come back after having her child.
Yep.
And, and we've seen this from Karatsev ever since the Australian. He's so happy to be in the main draw stuff. He ain't passing up no opportunity to play. and to make that coin.
Right.
And maybe even, we've commented before a little bit to his detriment. I mean, we've
Correct.
kind of felt like maybe he's played a little too much.
Right.
But he's like, no, if y'all want to let me in,
I'm going to play.
I'm going to play. And I just want to highlight, it wasn't just that they made it to the finals. They took out, okay, let's be clear.
Come on.
They took out Melikar and Ram, who were the number 2 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
And we probably know who came up short in that matchup.
But
anyway, I'm going to leave that alone, right? And then they took out Demi Shores and Kulhoff, who were the number 3 seeds.
Man, that's major.
So it wasn't like they just kind of skipped to the finals.
Right. Which makes you kind of wonder, because again, I wonder if the pressure got to them in the final, because it's like you said, he kind of showed that he was more of a singles player than a doubles player in the final.
Right.
Whereas, and they just pulled out their doubles prowess, and that's what got them the championship. But, him having played, those first 2 rounds with, arguably double specialists, you would have thought that, that it would have been a tougher time getting past those 2 teams. But apparently they were like, no, we ain't scared of y'all. So
exactly,
man.
And then you got to think about it too. I mean, Karatsev understands that he has made the Olympic squad for Russia.
Right.
So now, if there was any competition about who was going to be potentially playing mixed doubles in the Olympics, why wouldn't you go with this team?
I mean, I don't know that you could put in an argument against it, because it's like, who else from Russia has gotten to a Grand Slam final?
Right.
It sure as hell ain't Medvedev or Rublev.
No, not at all.
And Kachanov is just trying to make the team, period.
So we may see Karatsev playing in all 3 events at the Olympics.
Right.
Still wearing his Target plain T-shirt and shorts and Adidas hat and whatever sneakers he's got and mismatched racket and all that.
He's like, I'm holding out for that deal, fellas. I'm holding out.
He bringing out the recreational park line, outfit. So good for all of them.
That's right.
So let's jump to some doubles. And we just did mixed doubles. Let's jump to the men's doubles.
Okay.
Where this was a really good final. You had, and I call them the tricksters, Bublik and Golubev. They were playing, the double specialists, Hebert and Mahut.
That's right.
And Isaac, did you watch the match?
You know what? I did not actually watch the men's final, and shame on me for that, because I actually have it in their DVR, and I do plan to watch it, as weird as that sounds, even though I do know who already won. But I like both of those teams. I mean, the fact that Bublik and Golubev made it to the final is just a shock in itself, because, I mean, Bublik is just like you said, he's a trickster. So I'm just so curious to see what they were trying to bring, in the final, because it was competitive. It was super competitive. But it just looks like, the double specialists won over the tricksters. But, and I'm a huge fan of Ugamber and Mahut it's hilarious, their dynamic, Bryce, because I don't know if you knew this, but like either last year or year before last, Pierre Ugamber really wanted to leave the doubles and focus in on singles, but they were having such success in the doubles. Mahut is sitting there looking at him sideways, like, why you gonna leave me? And we still, out here doing the thing and getting our coin. And he was like, look, I'm trying to get my singles right. And, it's just that whole dynamic has been hilarious to me. But as you can see, he then came back to doubles again.
Well, and also, didn't during that period when he said he wasn't playing, then he ended up playing with Andy Murray?
Correct. When Andy Murray needed, yeah, it was so dumb. It was like, how you not gonna play doubles with your doubles partner, but then you're gonna step out there with Andy Murray. I was like, you killing me here.
Right.
So I guess he done got his mind right, and they back to being a team again, which is, it makes sense because again, when they are a team, you see the results that they can get, and kudos to them, man, for getting a French Open, 2 Frenchmen getting free. I mean, that's always special when you are able to capture your country's Grand Slam title, even if it is mixed, even if it is doubles. I still think that is phenomenal.
Right. Well, I watched the match.
Okay,
and,
yeah, give us your take on that, Bryce.
Yeah, well, it's exactly the way you described it, even having not watched the match. I mean, they, Bublik and Golubev. We should really say Bublik.
Yeah, Bublik.
Because Golubev played more of a traditional, I would say, doubles type role. Mm-hmm. But Bublik was doing all the crazy stuff, and there was one time that there was this point where Golubev was hustling down shots or hitting overheads at the net, and Bublik in the back of the court gets down on his knees and like he's praying.
Oh,
while the point is going on, right? It was crazy, but sometimes being just very unorthodox like that can disrupt your opponent, and I think that's what they did in that first set. Mm. And even in the second set, they were on the verge of winning. I think even Bublik may have been serving for it in the second set, but just like we talked about in the mixed doubles, mm-hmm. The stronger doubles team,
right?
They didn't give up. They battened down the hatches, and they was like, okay, and we're going to fight for every point, and they turned that around, and that was just an amazing win, and that was really good. So congratulations to
awesome.
Hebert and Mahut. We've seen them do this multiple times before. They got it done again. And, you have to say, once again, they will be a team on the men's side that will be in contention at the Olympics. Now, we know as long as Mektic and Pavic are over the Rona.
Right. They might be playing for silver or bronze.
They're going to be playing for silver or bronze. But they'll be in medal contention. I would say.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, man. Yeah. They're a formidable team.
Right. So let's go to part B of the Krejcikova show.
Yes, why don't we? The B-side.
The B-side. We're going to start with the B-side. And on that Sunday, the day of the men's final, we knew this was going to be a good matchup because Krejcikova and Siniakova, they were the number 2 seeds. Mm-hmm. And although they were playing the number 14 seeds, it was Bethany Maddox-Sands and Iga Swiatek.
Right.
Which they put the smack down on the number 1 seed when they were down like 1-5 in the third set. Against them, against Shea Shui and Elise Mertens.
Right.
And they came back and won that 7-5 in the third. So anyway, we expected for this to be, a tight doubles match. We knew that Krejcikova might be, a little bit on a high from the day before. But, wow. I don't know about you, Isaac, but I did not expect 4-2.
I did not expect for the whole biscuit to be brought out. Yes, that was very, very surprising. But, I think it's kind of like what you were saying all along. Certain things are just like fate and or destiny. And I just felt like this tournament for Krejcikova was just, this was her tournament, man. Oh, my goodness. It's insane. But I mean, but again, like we were saying, though, not as surprising on the double side because they are the number 2 seed. So you would expect them going in to win this. But yeah, to win it and give out a whole biscuit is that's pretty dominant.
Yes, it was. And another thing is, and it may sound like a recurring theme here, but you talk about a women's team to look out for in the Olympics?
Yes, sir. Come on now. I mean
you know, I think they're going to be in medal contention for sure. And just for a reminder for people, Krejcikova wasn't brand new at this. This was her second women's doubles title at the French.
Right.
Along with a mixed doubles title she already had. Mm-hmm. So she like, this is what I do at the French. I don't know why people acting surprised.
I know, why y'all surprised, man?
Yeah, this is what I do.
Yeah, go look at my stats. You'll be right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So congratulations to them, but also congratulations to Maddox Sands and Swiatek, because they had an amazing tournament as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, they put the smack down on a few teams as well. And, because, Swiatek is always good at going to the bread store before she plays.
Right.
So, honestly, it looked like they were having fun. Anytime you see Bethany Maddox Sands and you just see that big old smile, you know that they are having a lot of fun doing what they're doing. So I think that they enjoyed themselves getting to the final. And honestly, I think that they were pretty happy even with that result.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, even with that result, Bethany Maddox Sands didn't quite make it into the top 10 on today's rankings where she needed to be to automatically qualify for the Olympics team. I think I can't remember. I think she was like number 14 or something like that.
That has to hurt.
Yeah. Now, Nicole Mellicar is number 9. So she's locked for the Olympics team. So, Bethany Maddox Sands, it's going to come down to Coach, Rinaldi, whether she picks her, as kind of the doubles specialist and the second highest ranked American in doubles, or whether she goes with Venus.
Right.
And I think it's going. You know what? It's probably going to come down to a conversation that she has with Serena.
Right.
If Serena, she's going to probably ask her, do you want to just play singles, or are you looking at playing singles and doubles? Right. And I think Serena's going to know what that means.
She going to have to. Exactly.
I think she's going to know what that means. And
Yep. It's rough. I don't envy the position she's in, because she's going to have to disappoint somebody. And, of course, we love Venus. She is the queen. But if you go based on current form, I would have Venus nowhere near the Olympic team.
Right.
Because she can't get no victories. She ain't won in doubles. She ain't won in singles. Hell, she ain't won since January. And it's June.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
Stop. We're not going there.
We're not going to do that with the queen.
No, we're not going to do that. No.
I know. But at the same time, I feel for Bethany, because, look at here. You done made the women's doubles final. Yes. And you literally might not make the Olympic squad. And you're number 14 in the world, the second ranked doubles player. That's a tough pill to swallow. It's a tough pill to swallow. So it's I don't know if Kathy Rinaldi, what she's going to do. But, it's kind of like, do you follow, your head? Because to me, your head would pick Bethany. Or do you follow your heart and pick Venus? Because again, Venus is Venus. Venus is the queen. She is our girl. She's our sister. She done got 9 gazillion medals, and so record wise, and she Bethany cannot compare when you put resumes on the table. So it's not gonna be easy choice, bro. It's
not. Now, let me ask you a question. I don't know this, or I don't know if anybody that's out there listening, if you do, hit us up in the chat. When do they have to make the decision by? Because I know they were going to be using the rankings that came out today, but I don't know if there's a date that they are saying, like, your teams have to be submitted by this date.
Right.
Because it's got to be fairly soon. July 24th will be here in a minute if they have the Olympics.
Right. Yeah. It's I know I don't know a date. I don't know when the official date is that you have to have it, like, confirmed and locked.
Right. Well, at least we know there's only really one decision she has to make, Coach Rinaldi, and it is that one, because based upon the rankings that came out today, the 4 women that would make it from a single standpoint would be not would be.
Yeah, they are.
Sophia Kenin,
Yep.
Serena Williams, Jennifer Brady, and
Yep.
Coco Gauff.
Yep.
Now, we know with this injury that Jen Brady has, there's a potential that maybe she won't be able to accept her position. And if that's the case, number 5, the next person in the list is Pegula.
Right.
So that's your singles lineup. We know Melikar has qualified for one of the double spots, and then, Miss Rinaldi has to make the decision on that second double spot.
Right.
Man. And just since we're talking Olympics a little bit, and just to kind of laugh at it, if you want to wonder what the American men are looking like, all right. So
sure, why not?
All right, because and if you start looking for them, don't look for them above 30 because you ain't gonna find none of them.
Because you ain't gonna find that now.
No, right. So your top ranked American man is Opelka.
What?
Yep.
It's not Taylor Fritz?
Nope. And
I did not know that, bro. That's
right.
crazy.
It's Opelka. Number 2 actually is John Isner.
Okay.
But remember, he said he's not playing the Olympics.
Yep, you're correct.
So take him out. The next person is Taylor Fritz.
Okay.
Now, we know he just had this MCL surgery. So, he says he's going to be right.
He should be right.
Well, yeah, he's saying he thinks he should be good for Wimbledon.
Wow.
So
that show is pushing it. Good. I guess good for him, but
I don't know. So he's tricky, right? He's tricky at number 2.
He's tricky. There you go.
The next person you have is Tommy Paul.
Okay.
He would be number 3. Let's say Fritz is in. He would be number 3.
Gotcha.
And then number 4 is Sebastian Korda. He made it.
Wow. He made it, huh?
Yeah.
There you go.
So those would be your 4. Now, here's the funny thing. In terms of doubles, Rajiv Ram this morning in the rankings is number 11.
No.
He's number 11. So he missed automatically qualifying for the team. Wait a minute.
Wow.
How apropos is that?
That is pretty apropos. That's hilarious.
Just missed it, right?
Just like he always just missed everything.
Like he just missed it. But anyway, we know he will be picked.
He will.
He's the top ranked doubles player.
Yes.
But the next ranked highest American doubles player is number 50, Austin Krajicek.
Really?
Yes. He's number 2. So if I'm Marty Fish, who you picking between Austin Krajicek and Jack Sock?
Yeah, definitely I would pick Jack Sock.
Right. So
it just makes sense. And Jack's been playing, right? Didn't you say he won like a challenger?
Yeah, he just won a challenger last week.
Yeah, you got to put Jack Sock on the team. He got to defend his gold medal.
Right, exactly. Even though
his partner ain't gonna be there.
He can play with Venus.
That's true. There you go. Unless Ram crawls back to her and be like, "I'm sorry, Venus, give me another chance."
No. Put Ram with Melikar. They're the 2 topped. We're not doing that to Venus. No. Melikar will play another Olympics.
That's true.
No,
that is true.
You put your 2 top-ranked doubles players, male and female, Ram and Melikar together. Let them do what they gonna do, and then if Venus, whoever the second one is, whether it's Venus or Bethany Maddox-Sands,
right, whichever one.
Yeah, put them with Jack Sock.
Right. That's so hilarious. What's Tiafoe's ranking just for shits and giggles?
I don't know. I was going to have to print a second page to get there, so I didn't.
And that's okay. That is okay. If you can't make the first page, then you know what? You don't even deserve to be talked about. There you go.
Right. I'm trying to conserve my printer paper right now, and I was like, no. Right. If you're not on the first page, then
bye.
We don't need to be talking about you.
We don't.
Okay, so Miles is telling us that he is 65.
Tiafoe won the challenger. Oh, okay. Brandon. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's 65. So okay.
Right. And Brandon said he won a challenger this week. All
He
right.
he did,
All
as did Chris
right.
Eubanks.
All
And
right.
we're gonna talk about that on IG Live.
That's right. All right.
Yeah. So okay, so off the Olympics, let's bring it
Yes.
back to the French.
Back to the French.
And let's take it to the women's singles. Right.
Yes.
So the story of the whole women's draw was how quick can the seeds get out? I mean, basically, right?
Exactly.
I mean, and for a variety of reasons, withdrawing, getting injured,
right.
Whatever they could come up with to get out and clear the path for Serena, they were doing.
That's what they were trying to do. And,
except Rybakina didn't get the memo.
She apparently not. And but yeah, anyway, Rybakina crazy, man. I mean, we had her on the junior squad, the JV squad, and she kept losing. We finally kick her off the JV squad, and then she come back and beat the queen. I just need to send her a letter right now and just be like, now listen, you're doing too much.
Right.
What's that term? Either shit or get off the pot. I need you to either win or just be a scrub. But you can't be combining the two and then take out the queen, because that just was not acceptable in my opinion.
No. That was, and since we're brothers on tennis, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, bruh.
What was the deal with Serena? I mean, why didn't Serena get it done?
I honestly, Brett, I don't have an answer to that. I really, really, really don't. It confuses me how this type of an opportunity can present itself and she not be able to take advantage of it. I mean, just in any of the names that you saw in the I would even say the quarterfinals. Yeah, well, although I look at Sakari was up in there as for Swiatek, but still, she shouldn't have been scared of none of the women quarters going forward. And for her to, take that L to Rybakina is just very, very disheartening. It's very sad. But hopefully, it's the wake up call that she needs going into Wimbledon. To really, really try and get herself right, because I'm telling you what, sister, you got to get it right on this grass. Otherwise, it is going to really, really be tight on you. Bryce, what was your take on it, though?
I was extremely disappointed, but I was afraid once we started seeing everyone fall out the draw. We know that sometimes has a negative effect, because at that point it starts to put more pressure on the people that are expected to win. And I was concerned because, that's one of the things we have not seen Serena handle the best since she's come back. My concern was that she was going to feel the pressure of, she should definitely do it because all of her main competition is out of it. I mean, it was the same reason why I predicted Sakari was going to lose. She has the same problem. Once she became the highest seed left, in the tournament in the semifinals, I knew she was going to lose. So I'm disappointed, of course. I mean, I would have rather, honestly, if Serena had lost, I would have rather it been a situation like she made it to the finals and maybe she met Swiatek, right? And Swiatek, we know how she's been on clay, right? And be like, okay, you met somebody that maybe, was a little better than you in this particular situation. But like you said, Rybakina, somebody who ain't been able to keep two balls in the court for the last 6 months. I mean,
exactly.
Really? I mean, I just that was not where I expected to see her lose. So I don't know that you explicitly just said it, because I know you and I have been talking about it on the side. But what scares me is this puts a lot of pressure on Wimbledon. Because once again, I think the understanding is people are like, okay, we all agree she has a legitimate shot at winning Wimbledon. Right. But if she doesn't do it at Wimbledon, and I try to support Serena as much as I can.
Yes.
But I honestly, that will be the first time where I will have to step out and say, you know what? She might be stuck at Jordan. I mean, she might
Right.
be
Right.
23 might be the number.
Mm-hmm.
And really,
And
like we've always said, it should be fine.
ain't
You
nothing wrong
know,
with 23. Ain't
it
nothing
should
been
be
wrong
fine.
with 23. It's like you said.
No,
She's putting she put the pressure on herself back in the day by making the whole thing with Margaret Court a tennis fans know that it ain't even something that should even be discussed. We all
right.
know about Margaret Court's Grand Slams. We all know that, the day that they were done, the competition wasn't there when she got like 7 or 8 of them Australian Open. So we all know. Tennis fans know. But Serena, like you had said a long time ago to me, she should have cut that off right then and there and been like,
Right.
ain't nobody trying to compare me to her because there is no comparison. And
Correct.
she should have just left it there, and then everything would have been golden.
Right.
But
Right.
this puts the pressure on her, and like you just said, bruh, if she does not get it done this Wimbledon, it's going to be a really rough road for her to get to 24.
All right. So here's the $1 million question.
Yo,
Will she play doubles with Venus at Wimbledon?
she should, but she won't.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like she won't because she'll listen to Patrick. And Patrick
Mm-hmm.
needs to just shut up because he always be in 95 camps anyway.
Right.
But I'm gonna keep that right there. But I really believe that if she is really serious about winning Wimbledon, they should play women's doubles.
And let's bring up just real quick a conversation that we had on one of our daily recap shows.
Yeah.
We're starting to hear a lot of murmuring from different angles about really how effective is Patrick being nowadays as Serena's coach. I mean, is he more interested in being her head coach, or is he more interested in building his brand and his academy and his academies? Because
Right.
something that was noticed was before Serena's loss to Rybakina, on court prior to her match, Tsitsipas was playing.
Yep.
And Patrick was out in Tsitsipas's box watching that match.
Yes, he was.
Instead of being with Serena ahead of her match.
Correct.
Granted, we don't know everything that goes on in the background, and we don't even pretend to know, but just from the outside looking in, that looks funny.
That looks funny. Looks a little bit peculiar. Because, I mean, I would think that you would want to be with your player, even if you're not there, like I said, talking with them or what have you, that you're just there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that mentally can go on in a player's mind. And if they see you out there supporting somebody else, you never know what dynamic that brings to Serena. It's like you said, Brett, just not a good look. Not a good look.
I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to throw something out there, and I don't know if there'll be anybody listening to this podcast that might go do something with this or not. If Serena decides, let's say she doesn't get 24 this year. If she decides that she's going to give 2022 one more, that'll be her last round at all the majors to give it a shot. Patrick's last opportunity would be the U.S. Open this year for me. I would go into the off season with somebody else, and I would give somebody else an opportunity for that last year, for those 4 majors.
Yep, I don't disagree.
I'm not saying who that is or who that should be, but I think Patrick's been given enough opportunities, right?
Most definitely. I mean, again, you had his whole UTS, and you have all the players he's involved with, and he's doing a lot. He is doing a lot. And when you have a situation where, again, this player is trying to capture this imaginary GOAT number, if you will, from a Grand Slam tournament perspective, there needs to be focus there. And I just don't know that I see a lot of focus from him as her primary coach. So I agree with you. I would definitely say U.S. Open would be the last. I would make that cut. And a lot of people, quite honestly, were saying make that cut when they had that whole coaching thing that happened that year of the U.S. Open when Serena went ballistic and everything because Patrick got caught trying to coach.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of us were like, some heads should roll, and his should be one of them. He should be gone.
Right.
And wasn't that the same year that David Witt ended up actually, him and Venus actually split? We like, that's the wrong coach pairing. That's the wrong pairing.
Right, exactly. I'm telling you what, you know who I would love to do it?
Who's that?
I would love for her to just shell out the money and get Martina.
Wow.
Just shell out the money, get Martina, and get it done.
Her volley game would be tight.
Absolutely, but also the mindset.
Right.
That's a huge component because I don't care what you say how good a coach Patrick may or may not be. Patrick does not know what it feels like to be on that center court that final weekend playing that match.
That's true.
He only knows it from the stands.
That's true.
And that's what I would want to have happen. And there have been a lot of players I understand who have wanted to get Martina, but they couldn't afford it.
Right.
So we know that ain't an issue for Serena.
No, that would not be an issue of hers.
But anyway, that's just a scenario that's in Bryce's mind, right? It's just like, Patrick, you got Wimbledon and you got the U.S. Open this year. If you don't get it done, I'm going into the offseason with somebody else. And and I think there are several people that you could probably name. I mean, we're seeing people in the chat bring up, Kamal Murray, and we're seeing some other people, Zena, and that kind of thing. And I do like the concept of having somebody black do it. I do like that.
Right.
But if I'm going at it from a champion's mindset, I'm going with Martina.
Nothing wrong with that, bro. I feel you.
So anyway, we spent enough time on somebody that didn't even win it. So let's talk about. We had these 4 semifinalists: Pavlyuchenkova, Zidansek, Krejcikova, Sakkari, and we ended up with a Pavlyuchenkova Krejcikova final. And I know you watched it. Tell me, what were your thoughts of how that all went down?
Oh man, it was really a funny because we were saying a lot of the same things with Swiatek last year, I feel, in the sense that we were talking about her mental and just how locked in she was and just how, there was nothing that you could break or, there was nothing that was going to kind of get her off course. And I felt that way again about Krejcikova. That's right. It's Krejcikova, not Krejcikova. Krejcikova.
Right.
She just anytime Pavlyuchenkova would make a surge, Krejcikova was just like, all right, you can do your little thing, but just know that it's not going to last because I'm about to come back and I will be the one to take the important points. And that's just kind of the feeling that I got throughout that match, was that if it comes down to a critical point, Krejcikova is going to take it. And that's honestly, to me, what she did. I mean, she just played clean tennis. And just, it was just so weird for me, Bryce, because even when she won, it didn't even seem like she won. She was just kind of like, okay. And I was like, you just won the Grand Slam. Do something, go crawl on the ground and kiss something, to do something. And no, she was just like, I won. And it was just, I do commend the fact that, like I said, she just, to me, was locked in, focused, and she got it done. And it was an amazing thing to see. How about you, bro? What was your take on it?
Well, in our daily recap shows, I forgot at what stage we said it, but it just started to feel like she was destined to win.
Right.
And I've had this feeling a couple of times in the past with some other people, and it kind of came through. And so I just felt like from the very first point that still was in play. And so, of course, when she came out and gave her that breadstick, I was like, that was supposed to happen. And then,
right.
But then, even when she took that whole biscuit in the second set, I still wasn't fazed because I felt like we had seen all throughout this tournament, when she got to a third set or something like that, or, when not even necessarily a third set, but when she even got to where a match was tight, it just seemed like she didn't stress out about it.
No, not at all.
And she weathered the storm and she went about her way. And she did that. And I do think it was Pavlyuchenkova, the one that you saw that got kind of unnerved and kind of was a little more up and down.
Right.
Right. There. And so, like I said, I just felt like, I can't remember, like maybe starting at the quarterfinals or whatever, this was her tournament.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And she did it. And I had forgotten in the beginning that she had already won the women's doubles and the mixed doubles before. So now she's completed the career hat trick at the French Open.
That's right.
More than completed it, because with her winning the women's doubles again,
right.
She's got 4 French Open titles already.
That's insane.
Right.
Wow.
So, so I know she's kind of, I don't know why y'all surprised. This is what I do here.
This is what I do.
And of course we mentioned, for people that didn't know her whole story with Yana Novotna and how that came about and just, and then even hearing how, just such a fangirl she was of meeting Justine Enna.
Right.
There at the French. It just was a great story. I enjoyed it. And guess what? Now she's somebody that I'm going to really start keeping on, I'm going to keep my good eye on. She ain't on my varsity squad. She ain't on my varsity squad yet, but she did jump up on my JV squad for sure.
That's for sure. She definitely got the game. She looks like she is definitely setting herself up for some good success going forward on the WTA tour. We'll see what she brings on the grass and on hard court once we get back there, but we definitely know that her clay court game is not to be played with.
Not to be played with. Not at all. So shout out to Krejcikova and Krejcikova. Sorry. We don't get her name right by 2022. I'm going to tell you that
right.
much. Krejcikova. Yeah. Shout out to Krejcikova. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to come up with a nickname for her. That's what we're going to do.
We're going to have to, right? We're going to have to.
So shout out to Krejcikova. She's, winning, I've always got a little extra love for somebody that does it in multiple events. So winning the singles and the doubles, that was an amazing tournament. And nobody walked away with a bigger bag than she did, taking 2 events and the quarterfinal and the third.
Right? Crazy.
Yes. Yeah, nobody took home a bigger bag than her.
Mm-hmm. She's like, count my coins.
Right. So, okay, now let's wrap this thing up.
Do you want me to talk about this one and give you a little break? Because I know how you're feeling.
Yeah, you go ahead.
So the men's final. Oh, my.
Yes.
Again, Bryce, what it goes back to for me is, and again, said this on the Daily Show, and I was quite serious about it. I honestly had not taken into consideration any of the ramifications of Novak Djokovic winning the French Open. I just didn't. And y'all think I'm playing. I literally am not playing. I didn't even think about it. And like I said, the fact that he did with what most of the commentators are saying is the most difficult feat to do in any sport, and that's beating Nadal on clay. To do that and to then back it up by coming into a final, being 2 sets down, and basically climb your way out and take the title. I know I don't like the boy, but I got to give him some mad props. It's insane. Right. It's insane because he knew all of this too, and that's the thing, Bryce. Djokovic knew all this, and he still got it done. Yep. It's like
he did.
I keep playing around and I keep on saying Djokovic equals clutch, and it's a true statement. The boy just don't crack. He's like, bitch, I'm Serbian, and I'm not trying to play.
He like that good black.
Right.
I'm just trying to say it. He is. He's like that good black.
He's like that good. You better go and call it, because I am amazed. Because like I said, he got the thing done. He is like, I'm not trying to let none of y'all get in my way. Y'all done mistreat me since I came on the scene. In his mind, y'all. In his mind, because for us, he was, But again, we always know Djokovic has been that third wheel. He's been the one, again, when both Roger jumped on the scene and then you had Rafa, everybody jumped in one of the two camps. And then when he basically came, everybody, I mean, Roger's camp as well as Rafa's camp was looking at him like, look, boy, why are you here? Ain't nobody trying to think about you. And I mean, that fire has basically just prodded him along. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to get y'all. I'm going to get all of y'all. Rafa and Roger included. I'm going to get all of y'all. And honestly, I feel like that to me is what makes him so clutch, is that he's just like, y'all been treating me like this third wheel. And baby, I'm the main wheel of this tricycle. Ain't nobody on the back right. I'm at the front. And honestly, Bryce, him winning that is to me what that statement represents, that I am the big wheel on the tricycle. Because what he did was, like I said, off the court, the boy crazy. But what he does on the court, I give that dude mad props. Incredible. Incredible. I just, so
a couple of things for me.
Yeah.
The first thing is, I got up on Sunday morning early, and when, Tsitsipas had, he had the set point that he let go in the first set.
Right.
And then he was up 5-2 in the tiebreaker in the first set, and Djokovic brought it back to 5-all. I was thinking, you just gonna let this dude win, ain't you? And when he pulled out the first set, I said, okay, all right, you know? And then when he gave him a whole biscuit in the second set,
see,
I said, all right, here we go. And so I knew Djokovic. We know Djokovic ain't got no quit in him, right?
Right.
So
exactly.
I wasn't surprised when Djokovic won the third set. But one of the things that I said out loud, I said, look, Tsitsipas has to win the fourth set. If he does not win the fourth set, he will not win. Djokovic will not lose in the fifth set.
Right.
And, man, that just, when Djokovic won, man, it just ruined my whole Sunday, man. It was like, I was supposed to go up to LA with y'all on Sunday, and I was like, I can't do it, man. My mood gonna be all bad. And, I don't want to put that on nobody else. But I had to have this revelation.
Yeah.
And I'm exactly like you. I don't care for Djokovic. The only time I vote for him is when he plays most of these Americans. And other than that, I'm always rooting for somebody to jollywop him. But I have got to say 3 things about Djokovic. Well, no. Let me start off with this. I have not moved from my position of I still like to acknowledge the big 3. I think what the era of the big 3 has done is greater than what any of them have done individually. I don't know that tennis will ever see a period like the big three again. The
Right.
dominance that those three have had over such a long period of time is insane. And I don't have the numbers in front of me, but if you can't sleep one night and you're on your internet, just start looking at the numbers. They're mind-boggling.
Right.
What the big three have done, right?
And they're not done.
They're not done, right? Djokovic had already told us they still the new next gen.
Right. Speak on it.
You know what I'm saying? But I think certain things have kind of set in for me in terms of their roles that they play within the big three.
Okay.
I feel like Roger is just always going to be the people's champ.
Yes.
That's the role that he's going to have.
Correct.
I feel like Nadal is always going to be the king of clay.
Yes.
But when you look at the numbers with Djokovic, the fact that he has the record at the weeks at number one.
Yep.
He's won each one of the majors at least twice. So he has a double career Grand Slam.
Yep.
And he's won 2 of each one of the Master Series, and nobody else has even won 1.
Exactly.
Of each one of them. I have to give him as the most accomplished one of the big three. He is. The numbers don't lie. Correct. I mean, and like I said, and I have to take that stance whether he's my favorite or not. He is the most accomplished. He has gotten the most done.
That's right.
And props to him for that. Because he's really done it, like you said, as kind of being the counter guy in the big three.
Right.
The black sheep, if you will. So, shout out to you, Novak Djokovic. We didn't want to give it to you, but you're making us give it to you.
Right. You took it. He took it. He went in and was like, this mine. This mine, and I'm not even going to talk to y'all about it. Goodbye.
Right. Now, I do want to acknowledge something that Tsitsipas said, later, and it was not meant in any way as an excuse or whatever, but he did mention that I guess he had heard like 5 minutes before he took the court. I don't know if he heard it before, if he heard it afterwards or whatever, but 5 minutes apparently before he took the court, his grandmother passed.
Oh.
And so it kind of helped him put things in perspective about winning and losing. Probably allowing him to find perspective in his loss, and especially the way that he lost.
Right.
And it's hard to even recognize that, this was the best result he's ever had. First time he made it to a major final. Right. That was amazing. But I'm also going to say something else. It has made me even more resolute in my thoughts that I believe Medvedev will still be the first one of the next gen to win a major where he has to go through somebody of the big three.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Props to team for getting his U.S. Open, but
we
all know he didn't have to go through the big three to get it.
Right.
And I think, I've said it before, I think Medvedev's going to be the first one. And I was ready to say I was wrong if Tsitsipas had won this. But because he didn't, I'm holding to what I said.
Right. No, and I agree with you because I think that he's going to have the next opportunity. I'll say it that way. Because I think going into Wimbledon, you have to look at either Roger or Novak as being the 2 favorites going in there. So I don't really think anybody from the next gen arena is going to really do anything at Wimbledon. Just my own personal opinion. I think that then you get back to the hard courts, and that's where, to me, Medvedev is by far the top next gen contender. So when you're looking at the U.S. Open and or even the Australian Open, I would put him ahead of anybody else's chances to win, especially, if it's having to go against the big three. So I think you're spot on, bro.
Right, right. So I see that Paul has asked in the chat, is Djokovic going to get, and we'll make this a two-part question. Is he going to get the Grand Slam? Because now he's halfway there for 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you mentioned, Isaac, in one of our recap shows, is he potentially going to get the Golden Slam?
Yeah,
with the Olympics.
I'll throw mine out there, and I'll let you respond as well. So we'll give both brothers on tennis perspective. Mine is pretty short and simple. If Novak wins Wimbledon, Novak will get a Golden Slam. I feel like if he is able to get Wimbledon under his belt, I feel like he will get the gold and he will get the U.S. Open. What about you, Bryce?
Wow.
I do. I just do. I think it's just one of those damn Krejcikova things. I mean, I just feel like if he gets Wimbledon, I don't think he crumbles. I think he is, like I said, unlike, like I said, Serena, who made it to the semis and lost to the old girl from Italy. Not Panetta, but what was her name? I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Oh,
Djokovic,
Da
Vinci, not Da Vinci, Vinci.
Yeah, Vinci.
Yeah.
She went out there painting.
Exactly. I don't see Novak having that same issue. I think Novak, again, operates with a chip on his shoulder. He always is thinking about Roger and Rafa, as we know, because his parents are always making some dumb comment. I just feel like he is going to be the one. If he grabs Wimbledon, I don't think there's any hope for anybody as it relates to getting a gold medal and getting the U.S. Open. What are your thoughts, bro?
Oh, man. It's weird because typically in this kind of scenario, you would say that maybe it wouldn't happen because the pressure would get to the person.
Right.
And we know that apparently, like we said, Novak is that good black. So
that's right.
He don't crack. Yeah, I can be with you on that. The only thing that I'm going to say is I do think when it comes to the hard court at the U.S. Open is not like the hard court at the Australian Open.
Very true.
And
Correct.
I think there are more legitimate contenders at the U.S. Open on Novak than there are at the Australian Open, even though we're saying that they're both hard court.
Right.
Also, we have no idea what the hard court is going to be like at the Olympics.
Right.
And so I just think it's going to come down to the draw.
Okay.
I think there are some, because, and I'm not just trying to say this because it's our guy, but there are some people that ain't afraid of Novak.
That is true.
We do know that Medvedev can do it.
Yes.
We do know that Karatsev can do it. We do know that I don't know that, and I hate saying this because you know how much I love Roger.
Yeah.
I don't know that Roger could do it any place other than Wimbledon. And I'm not saying any of this definitively. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to look at what are the possibilities. But I would have to say to you, what you just said makes most sense. If he does win Wimbledon, the odds are in his favor. I think, I was about to say at least to get the Grand Slam. It's tough. I don't even. I feel like I don't even want to go on record for this. I don't even want to go on record for this.
You don't have to. Bro. It's all right. I done already stepped out there, so it's all right. It's all good.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Right.
Because we never know, how Djokovic is. Somebody might catch it in the throat, and we don't even have to worry about who's in his draw.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
He might do it to himself. There you go.
Right. So we really don't know. So anyway, Matt, so so congrats again to Djokovic. You
Yes.
have proven yourself once again, and we absolutely acknowledge that. That was the 2021 French Open. Isaac, you have any wrap-up final words about the tournament?
You know, it was crazy. It just seemed, honestly, it seemed like it went very fast, which is kind of weird to say, but yeah, it's just like, man, the French Open was here and now it's gone and now we're on the grass and here come Wimbledon. So, yeah, man, but it was a great tournament. A lot of drama that kind of unfolded from day one. And I'm not sure that we'll see as much drama at Wimbledon because you know the Brits, they be like, we ain't trying to have all that noise up over here.
Right.
So it might be a little less controversial there, but overall, man, I thought it was a fantastic French Open. I thought the matches were incredible, and just very happy that I was here to see it and to enjoy it. How about yourself, brother?
Same way, man. The French is usually my least favorite major of the year to watch, and probably will still be the same this year. But
Right.
it was extremely entertaining. We had some of the very predictable stuff to happen, and we had some very unpredictable stuff to happen. And we got some new names to look out for, and I thought it was a great tournament. We still need to tighten up some of these commentating issues that we got, but we will save that for another discussion. But and television coverage and Peacock Premium and all that good stuff. There's a whole another slate of issues we can talk about.
Right.
But overall, I thought it was an amazing tournament.
There you go. There you go.
We're getting ready to head over to IG Live as we normally do our after show because there are 4 tournaments going on grass this week that are going on, and we want to talk about those. So if you're listening to us live, go meet us over there on IG Live in approximately 5 minutes. Other than that, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us every day for our daily recap show on Clubhouse. We will be doing that again for Wimbledon. So every day of Wimbledon, and I'm not sure if it's going to be the same time or not. We have to figure that out. But we will be on Clubhouse every day to review the matches that have occurred that day and to also take a sneak peek at the matches that are coming up the next day.
There we go.
So, Isaac, on behalf of the podcast, this has been your boy Bryce.
And this is your boy Isaac.
And we are Brothers on Tennis. We'll see you later. Take care.